So here I have the base that we're going to do the stamping on. So let me pull in my little sheet of paper so we can do the stamping. So I'm going to start with a Memento black ink. And I will start with the large background stamp, or sorry, the large poppy stamp. And I always like to start off my paper when I am working on background stamps, background stamping, sorry. And then I'll just do like a triangle. So I got a little ink right there, so I need to not press so hard when I'm doing my stamping. A nice little triangle of flowers. There we go. And now I'll come in with the kind of a smaller folded up flower. And again, stamp off a little. And then I like to turn my flowers so they're kind of facing different directions. We'll do, let's see, right in here as well. Oh, that's looking pretty uniform, isn't it? Didn't really want to do that, but you get what you get. There we go. Okay. At least they are different sizes. All right, so I also am going to go ahead with the leaves. Hi, Marcia. Hi, Gloria. Thanks for joining me. So I'm using some black Memento ink and just going to randomly stamp those leaves on the background, building up my beautiful scene. Hey, happy Friday to you too. Marcia, do you have this poppies set yet? So I am going to be stamping with the Poppy Parade Classic ink. And I'm going to be using this kind of watercolor mark. And wait till you see this, it's going to be so fun. I'm going to stamp that splash of color on top of each of my flowers. So this is larger than that little folded over one, but with this background, it's going to look great anyway, it doesn't matter. And then there we go. I love making my own background paper. Rubber stamping, as gorgeous as all the other products are that we work with Stampin' Up, I love the rubber stamps and the ink. And it's really my first love, if not embossing. And so I will always go back to those because they are my favorite. All right, now I need to actually clean my stamp off because I'm going to introduce a new color. I'm going to use rich raspberry, and I'm actually going to stamp that rich raspberry right on top of where I had stamped the Poppy Parade. And we'll just get kind of an interesting palette of color going on there. Because it's so light and faded, you can actually see both colors. It really creates an interesting watercolor effect, don't you think? So what do you think? And I'm not trying to line these up. I'm kind of purposefully making sure that my splotches aren't lined up, because I would like to get gradations of the color in different locations on the flowers. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Can you see that well? Okay. And so the leaves, I'm not going to stamp, I'm not going to color them in solid. I'm actually going to use this little speckle stamp. I'll show it to you here on the stamp set. There it is. I'm going to use that little thing right there to stamp the leaves and color those in with Old Olive. Now I'm going to stamp this twice, stamp and then lift up and stamp again. So I'm kind of filling in, and I'll get that variation of color as well on all these leaves. Isn't that pretty? Mm, mm, mm. Love this. It's so easy to look like an artist when you are stamping with these gorgeous stamps. Thanks, Gloria. Glad you like it. And don't forget to share the video on your own page so your friends can see the fun stuff that's happening over here at Stampin' with Kelly. And, okay, so I'm just looking at the card to make sure that I've got everything I want on there, and I believe that I do. So now I'm ready to show you what I did for that shimmery effect. I'm actually going to use the larger splotch. Is that what I did? Yeah. No, I think I used this. No, I did. So I used both the larger splotch splatter. My biology teacher friend called that a blood splatter, and then the smaller one. I'm going to use them both. So the way I'm going to get the frost white ink on to my stamps to use them, if I need to wash this one, don't I? I don't really want that green, but you can mix color with the frost white ink, any of the shimmer inks, and use them as color too. But I don't really want to change the color of my background. I just want to add some shimmer to it. So I'm just going to pour out a drop or two onto an acrylic block because that is an easy cleanup. And then I'm going to be taking this sponge and I will be adding the paint or ink to, let me get some ink out of the way. I will be adding the ink to my stamps with the sponge. And I just want a little tiny bit. Okay. And I'm just gonna stamp that all around. I am going to pick up a little paint and sort of re-ink my stamp each time. And I am going for the white spaces. In a moment, I'll come back on top of all of my larger flowers with the larger splatter. My biology teacher friend teaches forensics as well, which is why this reminded her of a blood splatter. I should show you that card that we made at the last class. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do, I think, 2 more. One down here at the bottom, and then another one up here in the corner. Here we go. Yeah, that's looking good. Isn't that beautiful? You don't have to be too particular. See how I got a little color on my stamp right there? So that's what it's going to look like when you add a little color. And I think that was just from stamping too close to a flower. So I actually picked up some of the color. And I'm not disappointed by that because I didn't get a lot, but I did want to stick with just the plain frost. Okay, so I'm not going to put as much this time. And then I'm just going to stamp that right on top of the flowers. So it creates kind of this embossed effect. So we'll go ahead and get those done quickly. It has gotten dark since I have sat down to stamp and do the Facebook Live. And this one, let's see if I can get that last little bit for my last flower right there. There we go. Okay, so what do you think of the frost white shimmer paint background with the painted poppies? Do you like it? Ooh. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining me. All right, so this is going to go on there like that, and it's time for us to start building up our card. I need to stamp that sentiment. These are the moments we will look back on with joy, and I believe I don't have that stamp set handy, so hang on. Let me grab it. It is part of the Painted Poppies Suite. There it is. Okay. Peaceful Moments is the name of that stamp set. These are the moments we'll look back on with joy. Could use that sentiment for a lot of different occasions, don't you think? Oh, hi, Mary. I'm so happy you're watching. So what do you think of my card and my shimmer paint technique? You like that? All right, so we're going to stamp this on just a piece of scratch paper. Give myself enough room so that I can trim that out with a circle die cut. Alrighty. Oh, I do need to tell you that you need to clean these off rather quickly because that paint, it's acts kind of like acrylic paint. So you will be able to get it off and scrape it off, but it's better and comes off more easily if you clean it off right away. And I'm actually using just a wet rag to clean this off. Nothing special at all. Oh, thanks, Mary. Glad you like it. So I hope I get to see you in about a month again, right? We'll have to do some more stamping then. There we go. Might as well clean this off while it's in my hands. All right, so I'm going to bring over the Big Shot so I can trim that out and we can finish layering up our card. I will be cutting that out with the Stitch Shapes framelits die. This one right here, about the size I want. We'll grab Big Shot. So I am sporting a couple of new acrylic plates tonight. They're pretty shiny and clean. You're going to watch the first cut on these. All right, so lining that up. Get my circle on there where I want it. That feels like it's getting a real good connection with the magnet, so I won't use any tape. And I turn this around the wrong way, of course. Crank that through. There we go. Alrighty, that right there. So here's my greeting, and that's going to go right on top of my circle die. This die is in the Painted Labels dies that coordinates with your Painted Poppies stamp set. So you have this die to cut out the leaf and the large poppy and then the medium-sized poppy, and you can cut 2 leaves out at the same time. You get this beautiful circle swirly thing to put your greetings on and whatever else. We're going to use it in another way on another card. This sweet little kind of scalloped edge and this scalloped edge, and these dies right here, these label dies, will emboss the edges as well as cut them out. So those are super fun. This is really just a fabulous set. Okay, so the way we're going to build this up is with some real red ribbon. I don't know why I chose real red. I didn't even use real red ink. So I'm just going to cut that off with my larger scissors. Give myself enough room to glue that down with my snail. So I just want to kind of position this, see where I'm going to want that, about there. And hey, thanks, Marsha. Glad you liked it. I hope you get to use it. Do you have any of that shimmer paint? We sold it a long time ago, so you might have even had it from bygone days. I used it a lot when I was living in Nebraska and we were getting to stamp together. I used it a lot in a spritz bottle with just adding some rubbing alcohol. Okay, so once I have that ribbon on there, I'm ready to go ahead and attach that. Yes, I'm doing the live. Jackson's checking on me. You can say hi, Jackson. Mary Frances is watching. You can say hi to Mary Frances.
Hey, Mary Frances. Hi.
You can't talk in a regular voice?
No.
Maybe.
Being really goofy self.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to put some snail on the back of that greeting and line that up in the circle. I don't know if you could see on the camera, but this black element has stitching on it as well. So I do want to try and get that straight. Looks like this is going to cover up that stitching. It looks so beautiful, doesn't it? So I'm going to, oh, there. Hi, Jack. See?
Hi.
I'm going to add 4 dimensionals on the back here and get them to try to straddle the ribbon. There we go. You want to be my assistant, Jackson?
Not really. I'm just here.
Here to watch and enjoy.
I guess.
There we go. All right, and the last thing, aside from the inside, which, sad but true, I will not be doing the inside tonight. I'm just going to tie a little bow. And this ribbon is really nice. It's really stiff and makes it really easy to work with. Easy to make elegant bows. Oh, I don't know. Can they? Do you want your hand to be seen?
I want to show.
Thanks, Marsha. Yeah, that shimmer paint stuff is fun. A lot of fun techniques that you can do with that. Okay, so I'm going to add a glue dot to the back of my bow. Oops, I got two glue dots for the price of 2. All right, and just stick that on my element right there. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to work on the inside probably when I decide how this will be used. This is a little generic, so it might be used for a birthday. It might be used for, congratulations, a wedding. Lots of different opportunities for that card. And there's the original. So my Rich Raspberry came out a little darker on the second one. So you see the different kinds of effects that you can get. I love it. All right, so I want to show you yet another technique with the same stamp set, and this time I want to bring in some of the elements. So this one, I don't think that I'm going to stamp and share this, but I do want to share with you like what my dimensions were and show you that all I did was take one of those elements and pop it up with some dimensionals. I used the exact same ribbon, and can you see the shimmer on there? I just did 3 stamps of that shimmer paint with the large splatter. So again, with that and the same technique, and this is just white on white, and the stamp set that I used for this one is one of the free celebration stamp sets. It's called Sending You Thoughts. And here's what I said. What's this I hear? Well, all I can say is, and then on the inside it says congratulations. And then I decided to go ahead and add another die cut in there. Do the inside, do the inside. Oh, when will I do the inside? I don't know. Probably Sunday afternoon. That's going to be my next opportunity to stamp. Okay, so here is another sample. And in a moment, I will also have the dimensions on my blog when I get all of this loaded up on my blog in the next couple of days. So here's one of the black elements that I tucked up under the ribbon, and another one of the elements. This time I used Happy Birthday from that same stamp set, Sending You Thoughts. So these note cards are in a pack of 20. You get 20 cards and 20 envelopes, and the size of them is 3.5 by 5. So they're a little smaller than the regular cards that I usually make. And this black piece underneath, the layering piece, was cut. So let's see, it's 3.5. So this would have been 3 by, this is 5, so that would have been 4.5. So 4.5 by 3. And then the white piece on top that I used to stamp on, that was cut at 1/4 of an inch smaller. So that would have been, let's see, what did I say? 3.5 by, or 4.5 by 3. So that would have been 4.25 by 2 3/4. There we go. Whoosh, I should have written those down, huh? Okay. So again, very simple card. I layered the white, stamped the happy birthday, layered the black element with the ribbon and tucked that underneath the black. Then I put it on the card, and then I layered up this little flower element with some dimensionals. Okay, so those were super easy. Didn't think I needed to show you that one. And this one, I'm not going to stamp this one either. I am just going to show you how I colored the elements. So notice that I used the same swirly. This color is Flirty Flamingo. And I cut this piece to put on my note card at 4, so this is 5, so it's 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Yeah, 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And again, you can always check my blog later for the exact dimensions. I won't stumble over them because they'll be typed. All right, so notice that I used 5 of those vellum elements. And I just use a little mono adhesive to glue those down. And then I took one of the watercolor elements and popped that up on a dimensional. I also popped the circular element up on a dimensional. But before I added all of that, you'll notice that I stamped the background with that shimmer paint, again, with exactly the same technique that I used on the big card that I showed you. Oh, I like the pink too. This was Sean's favorite. I had Sean come in and look at all of them, and this was his favorite, the pink one. But I do want to show you how you color those in, the watercolor elements. They're pretty fun. So look at how many flowers you get on this sheet. Isn't that cool? So I'm just going to grab my aqua painter here. And I think what I'll do is I'll finish painting this element right here with the old olive. So I've already painted the top of the flower. It's already dry. And so now what I have done is I have just pressed the lid of my stamp head into the cover. So opening it halfway, I like to get my element wet first, so I'm just squeezing out a little bit of water, and then I'm going to pick up some color from the lid. Watercolor is so fun. I love watching it wiggle around and follow the water. So these have been embossed, so those white lines will show up once this dries, and I can just rub it with a paper towel. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And then just wipe my aqua painter off. Let's dry. Grab my rag, I guess. Okay, isn't that fun? So you can modify these to coordinate with any of the colors that you want to stamp with, the cards you want to do. All right, so that leads me to the last technique that I want to show you tonight. This is a long one, huh? Oh, not too bad. It's only 6:35. When I come, can I do the watercolor? Absolutely, you can. Yeah, that will be fun. Okay, so this is the last one that we're going to do, and this is what's called a baby oil technique. So let me grab my little trimmer and a piece of white paper because I need to trim the piece of white paper and the piece of black paper. Oh gosh, that TV's loud. Can you hear it in the other room? Ah. All right. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to do it with the baby trimmer because I'm going to need something bigger than 4.5. All right. So I'll go ahead and think through the black layering piece for you. All right, so this is 3.5. So I'm going to cut that to 3.25. No, I think I want that. Yeah, 3.25. Is that what I did? No, I think it was smaller. So 3 3/8. Yeah, and then this way, because it's 5, I'll just be coming in 1/8. So 4 7/8 will be my black layer. And then my white layer will be 3.5, so 3.25 by 4 3/4. There we go. Let's make sure I did that right. There we go. Yay, that's what I wanted. All right. Get rid of the trimmer for now. Get some of my paper out of the way. This aqua paper. Alrighty. So back to my flowers and the memento ink. So we will be using for this technique watercolor pencils. So let's get some flowers and leaves stamped on here. I'm going to try to follow my original pattern a little more closely. Actually, I think I'll do that one there, and then twist it and do that one there, and then another big one over here. And now let's fill in with the smaller flower up in that corner, and then one falling down over here, and another one twisting around the other direction. Okay, let's fill in with the leaves. There, like that. I love the way this worked out with the leaves. I think you will too. Okay, there we go, like that. And there. Okay, make sure that you share this video if you're watching, so that you can be entered to draw your personal set of Peaceful Poppies elements. And even if you're watching the replay, you can enter to win that by doing a share. And I love when you leave me comments and thumbs up and leave me hearts. It inspires me, and I just want to do more. All right, so I will be finding my real red, my rich raspberry, and my old olive. Those are the colors that I'm going to use tonight. So I will start by just coloring the edge of the leaf. And you do not need to be particular about how you lay your color down. And you could lay your color down at the top of the leaf, all around the edges of the leaf. You could go from the center. It just kind of depends on where you want your darkest lines. I do try to get color all the way up to the line and then making sure that I'm bringing down at least, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch of color. So I'll just stick with one circle. And this is my Real Red watercolor pencil. These watercolor pencils are from Stampin' Up, so they do still coordinate with our products. And you'll notice that sometimes I do circles, and if there's a real watercolor pencil artist out there watching me, they're probably dying at my technique. But that's the lovely thing about this technique is you don't really need to be much of an artist to accomplish it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did with the leaf also. So I just came down the center and then did a little scribble on each of the veins. The leaves are going to come out nice and light, but I really love the way the leaves turned out. I probably should try a card that has just leaves and kind of vary the colors a little bit. Ooh, oh, that might be nice, right? Okay, so while I'm at it, I'm just going to add some color here, the rich raspberry, so you can see how the two will work together in tandem. You can use whatever colors you want. I do suggest watercolor pencils. I believe that this technique works with regular colored pencils. I don't believe I've tried it. I think I've only done it with the watercolor pencils. And of course, if you like the idea of doing the watercolor instead, then do. What is nice about the baby oil, and I literally mean baby oil, is that I'm just going to put a few drops in the cap. So I'll pour that back in when I'm done. You get a really smooth look to your blending. So let's look at the card again. See how smooth that looks? So I'm going to use Q-tips and I'll just dip into the baby oil and then I will dab off so it's not just, And now we just circulate on top of the color. And then once I get that color blended and I don't see my pencil lines as much, then I just drag the color down the petal. And as you can see, if I used a lot more pencil, if I put a lot more pencil down and made my coloring line, half of the petal, then I could get a richer color. But I kind of wanted this little faded look. Now the baby oil will soak through, so you do want to put this on a separate layer. There, what do you think? Oh, I like the leaves too, yeah. Wait till you see how they turn out when I color them. So I don't think that you need to watch me color all of these flowers. I think you get the idea. And, it's not going to matter if you go out of the lines. It just kind of adds to the soft effect that this has. There, what do you think? Turned out pretty, huh? Okay. So I'm just turning my Q-tip around and I will dip back in my baby oil. And this time I will show you what I did with the leaves. So I'm just coloring right over the veins and the center of the leaf with my baby oil. And I'm not even trying to get out to the edges. I just want to have that nice soft effect of green. This is a really delicate looking card. All right, so I think that's it. Oh, no, I have that little rich razzleberry flower there in the corner, and I will do for you. All right. There we go. Okie doke. So there's that technique. All right, so I'm going to finish this card off camera. I just wanted to show you that I'm dumping my baby oil back in. There we go. And I'll bring the finished card in again to show you. There we go. So I used 2 of the black elements from the Peaceful Poppy Elements, and then I stamped the thank you and die cut it with the matching die cuts to the stamp set. So again, the painted label dies. This time I used a little piece of the white crinkled seam binding. Oh wow, I've used up the whole roll. Almost. Let's see, what's the name of this stuff? There it is. Crinkled seam binding ribbon. I love it. It's very fun. I think on one of my other videos I colored it. Yeah, I did. I used one of the Stampin' Blends to color it. So I raised this element up and I'll save the inside to just write a thank you note to someone. Actually, what I think I was going to do is with all of these cards, I was going to create like a little gift bag of cards to give to someone. But I think I probably need like another pink one. What do you think? To complete the set. All right, so if you have any questions, any concerns or comments about any of my projects or any of the products that I've used, please leave me a message. You can private message me. You can click on over to my blog to check out where to purchase any of these supplies. And if you're ordering in January of 2020, then please use this hostess code if you are ordering less than $150 worth of product. And let's bring that other card back in, if I can find it. I feel like I'm getting a runny nose tonight, so I'm sorry if I feel stuffy. Oh, I've lost the card. Oh no, here it is. Here's the other one that we made in the beginning with the shimmer paint technique. Thank you so much for joining me either tonight or when we were or during the replay. And make sure that you share this before Monday night so that you can be entered to win the Peaceful Poppies elements. Until next time, have a great time stamping and crafting, and see you later. Bye-bye.